This week on Panther Pratter, we're going to discuss a little something with YouTuber Matt B. Great. Alright, Matt B. Great is a YouTuber, has about 115,000 subscribers. I guess he just does a lot of videos about random recruits and tries to make, I'd say, vague predictions of what he thinks they're going to be in the future, with very, very limited experience in his own career. Most notably, just doing a little research on the guy, it was pretty sad to see him having to defend himself about the status and the value of his career. I guess some fans of his or haters of his, whatever you want to call them, they were under the impression that Mr. Matt B. Great wasn't being so great when he was misleading people, deciding to tell them that he was actually ranked second in the state. And now I guess Matt has become an expert on decision making for players that are top players, the top recruits in the country. So just wanted to play a little bit of this. Typically I'm discussing stuff related to Panther basketball, but there were just some things that Matt B. Great had said that resonated personally with me. Mid-major America in general kind of disrespected a lot of people, Matt, especially to be a person that hadn't been recruited even to play on that level. I don't believe that you played mid-major basketball or anything of the sort. And you damn sure wasn't a national recruit, so I don't know how you really would understand the landscape of what NBA scouts are truly looking at. Nonetheless, I did give Matt the opportunity to come on and discuss this with me, and since he didn't want to discuss, as usual, the show must go on. I don't have 115,000 subscribers. I have about probably a million Google search results, though, so that's work related to my basketball career. So you can probably add up all those subscribers you got, multiply that by about 10, and that's my level of notoriety. Typically I don't even respond to little silly YouTubers like this, but this one was intriguing, and lucky enough for Matt B. Great, I'm in my third episode of Panther Pratter, and it just gives me something to prat about. So congratulations, Matt. I'll be dismantling your argument personally today as a Panther great, a mid-major great, a junior college great, and a great player that ended up deciding to go, a high-level national recruit that decided to go mid-major. And you'll see by the end of my video, it's a lot better players than I ever was that definitely went to mid-major that are Hall of Famers. Started with guys like Bill Russell and Larry Bird, but we'll get to that later. So moving forward, what exactly did this dude say? Okay, and we'll sit here real quick and take a look at the foolery, the tomfoolery that Matt B. Great, the blasphemy that he alleges. Check this out.
Announced and shocked everybody and said that he was going to sign with Wisconsin Milwaukee. I don't think some people quite understand at how big and major this is. This isn't a 3 or 4 star recruit. This isn't even just a 5-star recruit, but he's ranked as the 4th best overall player. And I understand it, his dad coaches a school, but he's going to Wisconsin Milwaukee. I'm not going to look it up, and I'm sure somebody in the comment section will bring up a brief example, but going off of the top of my head, I don't know if there's ever been another case of this. A top 5 player going to a non-Power 5 conference, and at that, Wisconsin Milwaukee. It doesn't just stop there, because we gotta talk about something that's important. I'm very curious, let me know how you feel about this situation, but I'm gonna be very blunt about this. I think he messed up big time. This isn't one of those non-Power 5 schools that are really good. Milwaukee is really bad. I could understand his decision more, and I may not even be making this video if Milwaukee was 25-5. But listen to this, in the last 3 seasons, Milwaukee went 9-22. After that, they went 12-19, and in the most recent season, they went 10-12. This isn't just a mediocre team, this is a bad team. There's no other way to put it. They haven't even been close to having a winning season in 3 to 4 years. Only real hoopers are gonna understand what I'm about to say, so pay attention. He's gonna get his points and he's still gonna shine there. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is that when you play with people that aren't as good as you, it makes you look worse. That's why you see a lot of these top recruits go to IMG Academy in Montgomery.
I'm going to pause the madness and right there and say, Matt, you are grossly, grossly misinformed about the level of basketball that's going on at Wisconsin Milwaukee. For a team to be middle of the pack every year, nearly 500 in Division One basketball, is a very, 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 very good ball club, from small major to mid major to high major. Nobody is going to walk in and disrespect anybody that's 500. No Power 5 team, no top 5 team on the NCAA level is going to walk into a 500 level team and be like, this is going to be a walk in the park. You still got to execute. You got to take care of business. And any given night, those guys can start hitting, and it's basketball. Anything can happen. So you're really misinformed as it relates to that. Let's go to top players real quick. You say no top players, Hall of Fame, and these are going to be Hall of Fame level examples that I'm going to reference here that have decided to go to mid-major universities at some point. Bill Russell, Larry Bird, come on, man. Julius Erving, Tom Gola, David Robinson, Artis Gilmore, Bill Bradley, Walt Frazier, Bob Lanier, come on, man. Iceman, Mailman, highest assist leader. I mean, where do you get your information? It can't be from basketball, and you have the nerve to be like, well, real basketball players will understand what I'm saying. No, we don't, because I'm a real basketball player, NCAA All-American, bro. Actually, number 2 ranked junior college shooting guard. Now let's go further, and we'll push your knowledge a little more. I'll tell you how much more ridiculous your argument is. NCAA teams want to look at overall how many bids they've gotten, conferences they come from, etc. And as you'll see here, Milwaukee is 1, 2, 3, 4th in the Horizon League, with some of the most recent runs to the Sweet 16, the furthest anyone's gotten. So as far as that area and that demographic, including Green Bay, Milwaukee, UICs in that area, Detroit Mercy across the lake, Wisconsin Milwaukee would be the most recent and probably one of the most prestigious universities as it relates to basketball tradition right there. Actually, we just celebrated our 15th anniversary, and you may remember, I don't know, you may be too young, but if you ever remembered anything in the basketball world, my team personally was just put into the top 50 Wisconsin sports moments, and you'll see us right here. UW Milwaukee reaches the Sweet 16. And if we dig a little deeper into this story, you will notice that me personally, they do a little segment that's entitled Turn Down Big Time Scholarships to Be Here. And what they're talking about is the fact that I was rated the number 2 ranked shooting guard coming out of junior college in the country. And I picked Wisconsin Milwaukee over universities such as it says here, Oklahoma, UNLV, etc. But to put a little more to the story, okay, since you say Wisconsin, Milwaukee being 500 and who would go there, blah, 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 I decided to go there because there was a coach who was just kicking ass, quite frankly, okay? And UW Milwaukee, you might remember Bruce Pearl, who's now at Auburn. He became the head coach of Tennessee once the tournament wrapped up. He was the face of the UW Revolution in 2003, coached the Panthers to what looked like a surefire first-round upset of Notre Dame when DP missed a layup and rolled off the rim for a 70-69 loss. So this was the year before I had gotten there. So I had thought that Milwaukee would be a great opportunity to go in, be able to inherit a great supporting cast, mid-major guys who I felt like could get us deep in the tournament, and ultimately they did. Obviously, Patrick Baldwin Jr. feels the same way about the cast of players that he's inheriting, that you cast as being, I don't know, the dungeon of the league somehow, but 500, and to get a top 4 recruit, you know, in history, historically, has proved to be pretty solid. Now, they lost a lot of players, okay, when I had came in, but we were returning a bulk core that was mature, older guys that were really, really good players, experienced guys. Experience means a lot in mid-major basketball. all my true hoopers know what I'm talking about. You get these guys that have been in college for 3 and 4 years playing against, a 5-star recruit. That 5-star recruit's going to have a very, very tough task that night just because they're not as experienced. Their potential ultimately is higher. Okay, the upside might be higher, might be a better athlete, but as far as experience on the collegiate level, there's no way a 5-star recruit can come into any college with that level of experience. That's why when Fab Five guys like Weber and Jalen Rose, when they come out and do what they did as being all freshmen, that's why it's so historical, because you don't typically see 5 freshmen come in and be able to play that level of basketball that soon. That's why it's such a remarkable run. All my true basketball players will know about that as well. So moving forward, even as being the number 2 ranked JUCO, Milwaukee, being an All-American there and a Horizon League Player of the Year, enabled me to get drafted into the NBA Developmental League, even after an injury that I had sustained. I was going to have my knee scoped, so I wasn't going to get drafted as promised by the Kings. But I've also made the Men's Basketball Encyclopedia for college basketball and all-time junior college players in the United States, so that's a pretty good list to be on. I would say that any player looking to go be a big fish in a small pond, especially if you have a group of guys that are going to work hard and be good teammates, you're going to come in and really be able to be an impact player. Sometimes it's great to go into those types of situations. Obviously, this kid's at home. Milwaukee has a beautiful facility. It's a great city. It's a Division I program. We do have history and tradition. We got banners up, and kids from right there in Milwaukee gets to play for his dad and maybe take us back to the promised land. So I see exactly what Patrick Baldwin was thinking. I think he had great foresight, with not even days after, a week after, seeing that Duke's Coach K, ended up retiring. So maybe there's other things in the fold. There's way more variables seemingly that are occurring here that Matt be great, because he's never really played on this level or considered these levels of variables. Sitting down with a coach on the level of Coach K and different people and asking them, how long are you going to be around? Are you going to be here to see me through this process of becoming a professional? Obviously, being with his father, being there at home, he will continue to develop just the way he's become a number 4 prospect, and he'll be able to do that with the same person that has pulled him through to this point. He respects that knowledge, and I think he has an excellent platform and foundation to do that at Wisconsin, Milwaukee, so I think it's a great decision. Matt, on the other hand, if you're a recruit, I wouldn't be looking to Matt be great for any type of recruiting advice. Obviously, Matt's having a little bit of time struggling with how he is delivering his own speeches, and how he's coming off of being perceived to the public as possibly a fraud. And you come out here and gun a university who probably would never even give you a recruitment letter a day in your life. So good luck on your YouTube pursuits. I wouldn't say it's really high quality work. I don't give a shit if you got 2, 3, 4, 5 billion views. Probably people are more humored than anything, because it's really not good knowledge. If anyone thinks that it is, you're sadly mistaken. You may want to go to ESPN, maybe some better quality sources than this guy, because your historical knowledge of this particular realm of basketball, mid-major, high-major recruiting placement, and historical figures to come from these mid-major programs is grossly lacking in validity. So best of luck to you. Coming back soon with Panther Prater. Way better content than this. Maybe Matt B. Great will come on and talk to me. Maybe he won't. But just wanted to tell you, I thought your piece on Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Patrick Baldwin's decision was terrible. Trash. I'm out.